John Calvin, Epistolae, Lesson 37. Sed videndum quid nobis liceatne relaxemus ubi Dominus adstringit, neque verdro ut mihi assentiardris rogo, quod nimiae impudentiae foret, vel in meam gratiam ullo modo a libera simplicique sententiae tuae expositione deflectas. Sed tantum ut legendi molestiam devorare ne graveris. As the letter continues here, Calvin is setting the terms on which he wants his discussion to be received by Melanchthon. So he begins by saying, sed videndum, and I think this is to be taken as videndum est, the passive periphrastic. But one must look to, or we must be on guard as to how, how I'm going to translate quid, how it is granted to us, nobis liceatne, that we should relax, or we should take a break when the Lord is exercising strict discipline. Now, this portion is a little bit difficult to translate, as you probably heard in the way I took it, but I think we need to say that videndum is videndum est, and then this is in effect quid through adstringit. Adstringit is the object of videndum est. It's not unusual to translate quid as how. We could say perhaps in what respect, if we want to treat it like a Greek accusative of respect. That's not uncommon in Latin. So we could say, but we must look at in what respect we are granted, nobis liceatne, we are granted that we should take a break, relaxemus, when the Lord has tightened down or been strict. So liceatne here is in the subjunctive as part of the subordinate clause introduced by videndum est. The ne here means it's asking a question. How we should allow ourselves. Liceat always goes with the dative, thus we have nobis in the masculine plural and dative. How we should be allowed, how it should be granted to us. And then the subjunctive relaxemus, in a not unusual fashion, is dependent on another subjunctive, namely liceat. And relaxemus is from the first conjugation verb relaxo, relaxare, which means to take a break or to release discipline, to loosen up. How we should be allowed to loosen up when the Lord has been strict, adstringit. Calvin then says, but, that's the vero, neque rogo, I am not asking. The object then of neque and rogo, or I should say simply of rogo, is here in the ut clause. I am not asking that you should agree with me. So rogo here is going to take a usive noun clause, that's the ut mihi assentiaris, and it functions really as the object, and that's why assentiaris is in the second singular. It's present, subjunctive, and passive because it's a deponent verb. The verb is assentior, assentiri, like so. You can see that it is fourth conjugation, assentiri, and it also patterns with the dative like liceat. That's why we have mihi. So he's saying, but I am not asking that you should agree with me. Quod fordret, which would be a sign of nimiae impudentiae. So these are both feminine, singular, and genitive. Maybe a little bit difficult to see here. We have the mark underneath, but this is actually the genitive singular ending, nimiae impudentiae, and as a part of a early modern printing convention, this means the diphthong I. I'm taking this as a genitive of characteristic, which would be a mark of excessive arrogance if Calvin were to ask that he agree with him. And here is the second point, or I am not asking that deflectas, the verb is all the way here at the end of the clause, or that in meam gratiam. So notice that the mea here is actually meam, or that to my position or into my grace, into my thanks, deflectas, that you should turn in meam gratiam, into my position in any fashion, a libera simplicique expositione, from a genuine and straightforward expression, expositione, sententiae tuae, of your own position. So here we have the preposition ab, which takes the ablative, and that's why we have expositione there in the feminine singular ablative. And then it's modified by two adjectives, libera, like so, and simplicique, like so. Nor that you should turn aside in meam gratiam, to my position or into my favor, in any sense, ulo modo, from your own explanation, from the free and straightforward explanation of your own position. He says, I'm not asking either of those things. But only, that's the sed tantum. Now here's the third request, graveris. So notice that rogo controls assentiaris, it controls deflectas, and finally graveris. But I am asking only, tantum, that, ne graveris, that you not take it as a burden, that you not be burdened to endure, devorare, that's the infinitive here, to endure the tedium, the bother of reading, legendi. And legendi here, of course, is a gerund. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that free lesson. Please like and subscribe, hit the bell. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/LatinPerDiem. And if you really loved it, you can leave a tip right here as a super fan. Thank you so much.